Hi there, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be reviewing yet another palette, but this one is actually, I have quite a few palettes, but I haven't ever really used Lorac before, so this is kind of new to me. Picked up a few palettes recently. I know. How could it be new to me if I have so many palettes? But 'tis the truth. So I picked up the new one, which is the I Love Brunch Pro palette. I like pastels. I know it's not for everybody, but with my skin tone, because I'm so pale, I'm a fan of pastel colors, always have been. And so I was kind of excited to see this, and so I decided this was the time to buy Lorac. And I know that pastels normally have a really bad reputation for not going on well and not being very pigmented or being chalky. There's a lot of problems associated with pastels. So I was a little bit wary about this, but I really loved the colors and thought, why not? So here I am. But again, this is the Lorac I Love Brunch palette. It's kind of interesting because the palette is actually small, but they put it in a big box like this, and I get it. They don't want it to get crushed and then having to replace it. But also inside of it, you do get a brush. It won't fit inside the palette, the actual palette, because it's too thin, but you get a free brush. And I also got an eye primer as well, which is great because I was running low and I'm looking into different ones, so willing to give it a try to see how it works. So it comes in a big box like this, but this is the actual palette. There is a mirror inside, as you can see, and then you have 16 pastel shades. I really like this palette. I was really pleased when I opened it. I really like the different shades that are there. I think there's a really diverse amount of colors here, which is what I was looking for. And it is smaller than I expected. They are smaller, and I think I paid about 40 some odd dollars for this. I'll put it above, but they are really small, and it is 16 colors. So you're going to be paying a hefty price for these. But they're really lovely colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and swatch these, and I will then come right back to you with my review. Okay, so I am going to start with the top row. The first one is lavender, which is lavender, surprise. So this one's coming up really, really light. Part of it's my skin tone, part of it isn't highly pigmented. And the next one is Eggs Benny, which is a sage color. Very, very pretty, but very, very light. The next one is Gluten Free, which is a pearly white shade. Again, coming up very pale. And the last one is Hot Sauce, which is kind of a peachy tone. And again, really, really light. They're nice colors. It's just going to take a lot of, you're going to have to do a few coats to get a nice payoff. To the second row, this is Jelly Donut, which is a very, very light pink shade. And it's almost coming up white. You can see a little bit of pigment in there, but almost coming up white. The next one is Pancakes, which is a lighter peach tan color. This one's showing up quite well, actually, probably the best one so far. The next one is Sorbet. You know what? It's a pretty color, but not a lot. Even I'm dipping my fingers in 3 times and twirling it, and a lot is not coming up. So the next one is Valet, which is a gray. Hopefully better luck with this one. A little bit hard to see on my skin tone, but it actually went on quite nicely as well. So moving on to the third row, this one, next one is Bloody Mary, which is a very light pastel orange color. Add just a little bit more so you can see it. The next one is the Blueberry Scone, which is one of the ones I'd been eyeing. It goes on nicely, actually. It's one of the better of the bunch. The next one is Moonlight, which is a gold tone. This one goes on nicely as well. And the next one, which is just a strange name, is Avocado Toast. Never had it, don't know if I want to, but here it is. And actually I think that this row probably
is the best as far as swatching goes, but is it overly vibrant? No. I mean, these are pastels, but this row probably goes on the best of the other ones that I've tried. We are on the last row, starting with Mimosa, which is a peachy tone. Kind of hard to see in my skin tone because I'm so pale. And the next one is Smoothie, which is a purple color, not quite lavender. It has more pink undertones to it, so it's a pinky purple. Actually, this went on really nicely. I didn't need to do 2 swipes, but I just wanted to, but it really didn't need it. The next one is French Toast, which is kind of a metallic taupe. Really, really nice, actually. And the last one is Sunday Funday. Heck yeah. Which is kind of a, I don't know, another peach tone. Very nice. Actually, the last 2 rows swatched better from the last 2 from the bottom swatched better than the 2 top rows.
You can see they swatched pretty well. I mean, pastels are known for being a little bit difficult to work with. What I did find, and I'm actually wearing the palette right now, what I did find is that the colors go on better when you definitely use a primer, and a white base will even make them pop more. I don't usually use a white base that often, but I know a lot of people do. For me, I just used a white base shadow and then painted above it. And I think the colors came on really well. What I will say is there really isn't any medium tones to create a crease. So you're gonna have to bring in a different palette to get that look. Unless you're going for a very minimal, like using the 2 purples to create a look, or using the peachy colors to create a look along the whites. But for me, I wanted to bring a little bit more in just because I didn't feel like it was enough. So I brought in my own neutral palette to complete the look. But you don't have to. I mean, you definitely don't. It just depends on the look you're going for. What I will say is that this isn't necessarily a palette that may work well for somebody who's a newbie to makeup. Not because the product's difficult, it's more just the color selection, again, because there's not any really defined way of using it, like with some palettes where it's really placed, here's the highlighter, the crease, you know, the lid color. This isn't like that, so, you know, somebody who's new at doing makeup may find this to be a little bit a pain in the butt. So bring in different colors if you need to. I did just because it wasn't enough. I wanted more of a darker tone to it, and I think it worked really well. What I will say is, even if the things didn't swatch necessarily that well, I do feel like the colors were really smooth, pigmented. They actually were pigmented once you had the primer on. Even in the swatches you could see that are a little bit hit and miss, but I think for the most part, I think it's a really solid palette, and I would recommend it, especially if you're looking for good pastels, because a lot of pastels always fall up short. There's so many palettes that have, and this one doesn't. They're really smooth, creamy, no fallout, really no fallout. But to build the color, you are going to have to use a few swipes. But with lack of fallout, you know what, I'm okay with that, because I actually did not use that much product, and you can see I have been using this palette, and honestly, there's still plenty in there. So if the quality's good, I'm okay with it if I have to build a little bit more, because I understand the dangers of the pastels. So yes, big thumbs up to this. You're looking for great pastel palette, I think this is it. There's been a few flops these last couple years, and this one's pretty good. So that's my review today. I will continue testing these and put those looks on my blog. And until next time, have a fabulous day. Bye.